You can buy your ginger roots at any grocery store. Choose organic ginger. It's less likely to contain chemicals which prevent growth. Choose the biggest roots with lots of eyes. These are the swollen parts on the ginger. These are where you will get growth. If they are in packages like you see here, try to choose the ones that have more big roots and eyes. Keep the roots moist but not soggy. Keep them covered and place them in a dry, dark place. In 2 weeks, you will start to see growth. You can see that these are called eyes, so you can see that there is growth coming out of some of the eyes. Here's this root, here's this one, and this one. So this is what yours could look like in a month. In 2 weeks, you should see some growth if the setup is pretty good. So if you're in the same growing zone as me, 8A, where you do get a winter, and that's considered not good for ginger because it's a tropical plant. So it needs that heat and that moisture. In order for ginger to grow nicely, we need temperatures at least in the 70s, our daytime temps. And then I would say nighttime temps, I would say at least 55 degrees. Now anything below 50 degrees, ginger is not going to be growing. It's just going to be pretty much dormant. So all in all to say, that's the reason in our growing environment here, we have to start ginger indoors to kind of expedite its growing process, because otherwise we're not going to have a nice growing season, and I'm saying nice as in like 5 to 6 months. So our early first frost is usually, I would say, October, November. So because of that, if you're starting, let's just say we put in the ginger now, so it's March, let's say April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So we're looking at 7 months, but by the time you get like the first leaf and all that, it's probably not going to be until April, May time when the temperatures will be higher. And we are talking about soil temperature, not necessarily the environmental temperature. Before we get into planting today, let's talk about starting ginger indoors, because we got to do that. Starting indoors is challenging in a way where you try to find the right environment to start ginger. What has been successful for me has been to just put ginger in the way that I have here. You can wet the paper towel on the bottom here, and you may want to put a paper towel at the top too and wet it. Now sometimes if I find that it's too moist, I won't wet the top paper towel, but if it's dry, I may do that. They need to start out in a dark environment. It has to have some kind of air flow, air circulation, which I don't think I have that all figured out. I just put mine in a cupboard, and then having some kind of air circulation on the bottom would help. I did not. I think next year I will figure out something like a better setup where there's air circulation on the bottom as well, so that way you will prevent any kind of mold growing there. So if the ginger gets too wet and there's no air circulation, no airflow, you might start to see moldiness, which I had seen in this one. I can see, let me show you, mold growth right there. There's no growth coming out of this. Another good tip is to check on their progress, I would say every other day, just to make sure the paper towel is still moist, and then also check for any root rot, any moldiness. So if you have some mold, I would either rinse it off, or just if it's too bad, like pretty bad, where you know that it's not going to grow anymore, just separate that, because you don't want to spread it to the other roots. I would start between mid-February and the end of February. It's good this year that our spring has been a lot warmer, but some other springs, like last year's springs, was a lot cooler. So it just depends. But I think starting it in between mid-February and the end of February would be good. Now you could put these like, let's just say you started earlier. You could go ahead and put them in the soil, but just know that they're just probably not going to do anything. And if it gets too wet, more likely the roots might start to rot as well. So you want to protect it from moisture and lots of rain until you start to see leaves. The next thing that I wanted to share with you is the temps. So ginger, any temperature that's below 50s, it's not going to do much. It's just in a state of just surviving. It's just going to be there, just existing. I would say when the temperature is at least 60 degrees, it might do something. But when you get to at least 70 degrees, you will see you will start to see growth. And we are talking about soil temperature. So just keep that in mind. I think when I researched, it said daytime temperatures at least 70 degrees, and nighttime temperatures, you want it to be at least 55. Those two are the main things that I wanted to discuss with you to make sure that you're going to be successful with growing ginger. You can experiment. I see there's a tree moving. As long as you're getting better each year, then that's what matters, and you're gonna end up learning a lot, like I have. So I think this year I'm going to be smarter, since I know about the temperature now, which I did not know about the importance of temps for ginger. Now I did stick a couple, like 2 roots from Inorganic ginger. These did not take. No growth development from these guys at all, unfortunately. Now I could have had a whole bunch of these also, but I did not. I figured these are bigger roots, so maybe they would do well, but they did not. Anyway, with Inorganic ginger, they may have sprayed something in there to prevent it from growing. If you can stick with the organic ginger. I have done both ways in the past, where I got success with the Inorganic ginger, and of course you may have to buy a lot more to see growth. Now these might not be the ones that would take off, but maybe other ones. So just keep that in mind. You can try both. I'm not saying that they won't work. I just know that sometimes they may spray something onto the ginger to prevent them from growing while they're sitting there in the grocery store. These guys came in a bag. You kind of have to inspect them to make sure that they contain ginger roots that are big. You want to start off with the biggest ginger roots as possible. And I learned this from one of the viewers who gave me this tip. So thank you if you're watching this video. So these were the packs that I saw had bigger roots in there. Of course, you get various sizes. And ideally you want to choose organic gingers where you can actually pick and choose which ones you want. But unfortunately for this particular group of ginger roots. I did not have a choice. I just had to inspect and just hope for the best that I picked the biggest ones that they had. I did want to say that a few of the organic ginger roots did not take as well. So not always a guarantee, just like in life, you know. You just don't understand why things go the way they go sometimes. All right, let's get these ginger roots planted in these containers. So ginger grows horizontally, so you want a container, I would say at least 12 inches wide. This one is 15 inches and then 12 inches high. These are containers that were left over from another project, and I'm glad that I was able to use these. I think these containers will work perfectly for growing these gingers. So the hardest part for me has been to start the ginger. Now after I put them in the soil here, I feel, you know, a lot more confident that they will be able to do well. So I am banking on that. So we're gonna just place maybe half an inch to an inch below and just lay them like this. I will do a small one right here. And that's it. I think, is that right? Okay, let's see. 3, 5, yes. I think that would be good for the 3 containers. And we're just going to go like that. Let me just make sure. I'm going to push down a little bit more. You notice I have my gloves, but I'm not using them. All right, so soil-wise, it likes rich organic soil. It likes it on the moist side, but not, you know, like to a point where it's soggy. So rich organic, fertile soil, moist, not sitting in water. This is our last group. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I could put maybe just 2 in here, but I'm gonna try this out with these guys, see what it does. But yeah, you can definitely put just 2, hoping that it would grow this way and the other way, and then that way it won't get too crowded. So I don't know all that I have done as far as putting in the containers in the past. I should know, but not really. So I'm just gonna do this and see what happens. Maybe they'll just grow together and just merge. That would be cool. All right, they have all been planted in the containers, and I'm excited to see how fast these guys will take off, because we are getting temperatures in the 70s, in the 80s, maybe a few days in the 60s. So I'm confident that these guys will show up very soon, and we'll definitely give you an update on these guys sometimes, maybe in a garden tour or an actual video by itself. I'm just going to put these guys right in that corner there because right now we are getting, we're not getting too hot, and I think that corner there, it will get mostly afternoon shade, but it'll still get the warmth, and we'll start off there. Now if later on it's getting too hot, meaning the leaves start, you know, shriveling up or whatever, showing signs of being too hot, we'll move it somewhere else. But I think this will be a good location for it for now. So excited to see this and so excited to share this with you as well. And I hope that you have learned something from this video that you didn't know before. So we talked about the importance of temps, the temperatures for ginger. We talked about the soil. We talked about how to start ginger indoors better. I just find that leaving them in bigger chunks has worked for me really well. You can experiment with different ways to start your ginger, but I just know that after trying different ways, the way that I have shown you has been the best for me. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, I hope you found some of it helpful. And until the next video, I hope you take care. Bye for now. And if you want to stay on and see me struggle putting these over here, I will keep the camera rolling and you can see where they're gonna go.